So I finally broke down and ordered a kx040, and since out here in Arizona it gets pretty toasty, I decided to go with the cab and air conditioning and all the other good comforts since I'm doing this now as a full-time deal. I ordered this machine with pretty much all the options that they had, plus a couple options that they didn't have listed, but I found out about, so I went ahead and ordered it up. So you can see here I've got the 2 auxiliary hydraulic ports. One thing I was kind of surprised about was when you order it with just the one port, it's got a diverter for the thumb that you can switch between a secondary attachment and the thumb just by turning a little deal that would go right here. But when you order it with the 2 ports, for some reason they exclude that, and to add it later, it's well over $1,000 worth of valve for the little valve and whatever else you need to do that. So kind of weird that they don't offer that, and if you want to add it later, it's pretty pricey. The other nice thing I did was I got the hydraulic quick connect for the bucket. You can see right here it's got a little plate with an deal for the hose, and that goes over to a drawbar that's hydraulically holding that pin in place. So you can see I've got just a bolt going through here, and when you push a little diverter switch, which I'll show you later, and hold down the right side boom swing pedal, it will actually unhook your bucket and allow you to exchange it with another one pretty easily. It wasn't that much of an additional cost to do up front, but if you try to add it later, you have to replace the quick coupler with the hydraulic quick coupler. So it's worthwhile if you are ordering the machine. They don't list it when you look at the build sheet. It is something you specifically have to ask for, and I will do a further follow-up video showing that functioning and have the part number for all that. It has the standard lights, this being a Dash 4 model. It doesn't have the LEDs yet. I may end up going in and changing those out to some off-road lights, because I was looking at the factory LEDs and it's almost the same price as going with a set of KCs. I do occasionally work late into the day, and it would be nice to have additional lights. These aren't bad though. I can't really complain. I haven't used them too much in the dark, so that may be something that I may or may not do. Going around to the back, it has a place for a beacon. I'm surprised it doesn't have a reverse light here, so you can see when you're backing up at night. And then it almost looks like there was supposed to be a wiper on here. All the machines I've seen do not have the wiper. When I talked to the dealer, they weren't able to come up with a specific kit for a rear wiper. So not sure what's going on there. Overall, the machine's been pretty good. I got with the 6-way dozer blade. You can see I've already put this to use. I've already got like 20 hours on this. I've only had it for a couple weeks now, and so far I've been really happy with it. Over here you'll see the filler cap. You also have a little button right here. That's so when you're filling up, you can push it and it'll beep at you to tell you when you're getting close to getting full, which is kind of handy. Ordered it with rubber tracks. Steel tracks are a little bit more abrasive on the excuse me, the running gear, and for the most part I'm not going to need the steel track, so rubber tracks went there. The cab obviously is a really nice option. It's only been up to about 100 degrees so far here in Arizona, so haven't tried it out when it's 120, but for the most part when I've been working, it's been nice. Haven't been sweating. Actually a fairly quiet machine. I've heard that the newer models are a little bit quieter, like the U series, the Dash 5s. Although I can't really say head to head how much quieter, but unlike my M62, I'm not having to run ear protection. Also has a radio on here, which is kind of nice. The speakers could do for a little bit of upgrading. They're a little tinny, but you know, it's not that expensive to go in and change those out later on. The placement of the radio, you would think would be convenient, but I have bashed my elbow many times when I go to turn around or get into the machine and just whack it. It's just right at that optimal location for me, to where it seems like I'm always running into and hitting it. You can see down here we've got the standard controls and the latches for opening up the front window. You also have the two side windows. You can move either of the panels one way or the other, which is kind of nice if you're working with somebody else and you want to be able to talk to them. You also have pretty good overhead visibility, and overall it's a pretty nice, comfortable cab. The seat's pretty comfortable. Coming all the way in, you've got the control for the 6-way blade. So you have up, down, and then you have your twist for doing your angling, and then your switch for the other position, and then your standard controls for your boom. You have your boom swing control here, and that switch. Now normally, at least the only other option that I've seen where the switch, you can see that switch right there. Normally it's installed on the back side right here, and then you have to reach over and flip it, and that diverts the hydraulic flow over for the quick attach. I didn't really like that location, and knowing where the factory location typically went, I went ahead and asked them to relocate it right here next to my other switches, so it would be a little bit more convenient to get to, and not anything that would be hard to change out if I wanted to go with a different style switch. To arm it, you basically flip it up. There's 3 positions. There's a off position, a mid position, and then an arming position. So when it's in the arming position, you have to hold it down and then step on the pedal here, and it will allow you to open up that drawbar to let go of the bucket. The one thing, when it's in this mid position, it does disable your boom swing, so you do have to have it in the fully off position to be able to regain those controls. Other than that, it's worked pretty good. You have your throttle control here, your AC controls. You have your wiper, which you basically flip over to turn on, and you hold that down to be able to squirt some of the washer fluid. You also have your inhibit switch, your regen inhibit, your eco, which should be on, a beacon, which I don't have hooked up right now, and then the work lights. Now when they wired this up, for some reason when they went in and did this auxiliary connection, they had these two reversed, so at some point I need to go in and flip that around, make that correct, but I'm not in a big hurry. So when I want to have the work lights on, I actually have to hit the beacon. Kind of annoying, but hey, what are you going to do? I did order this with the telematics. I've been playing with that a little bit. That's kind of nice to do the geofencing and kind of knowing where everything is. And then looking back here, you can see here's the reservoir for your washer fluid. And then they've got an emergency little glass breaker. So if you do have to get out, that's kind of convenient. I'm going to probably try to find a place to put a fire extinguisher in here just in case. You have a little cab light right here. Nothing super bright, but it works. And then you have your standard drive controls, either using your foot pedals or the handles. I typically just use the hand controls. Personal preference on that. And then you can see I've got a little holder for my cell phone, so while I'm working I can, use Spotify. Got a little charger, cup holder. The dash, even though this being a Dash 4 model, fairly easy to work with. There's definitely, like when I was doing my research and looking at either going with the Dash 5, one of the other versions, or the 040 with the Dash 4, you're not really losing anything as far as functionality. The newer screens give you a few more bells and whistles, but nothing that I would say would make me go to one versus the other. The main reasons that I went with this model instead of going with the Dash 5, either a larger kx0 or a U version, one, the price, it's almost $20,000 more to jump up in size, and you're getting a little bit more dig strength and a little bit more reach, but those weren't as important. The one nice thing is that the buckets for my M62 are the same as for the kx040. So considering I've got tens of thousands in buckets and attachments, it just saves a lot more money by having interchangeable equipment between the two. Plus, this is the only model that has that 6-way blade, which I find quite often when I'm doing road grading or backfilling, the ability to taper and push material, having that tilt function is very nice. Definitely, if nothing else, get the angle blade, but the 6-way blade is just an added bonus to make it a little bit easier. I did try using it to do balancing the machine on uneven ground, and I had mixed results. It sort of worked, but not as well as I was hoping. I was hoping to get a little bit more stability by being able to offset that blade to help balance it, but it didn't seem to help a whole lot. Other than that, I've been very satisfied with the machine. I've already done about 3 jobs with this, and it's been a nice little machine. If you have any questions or any follow-up videos you want me to do, feel free to let me know, and I will probably break down some of the other functions like the 6-way blade and the quick attach into their own quick videos to make it easier to have references to how those work and the options, and I'll probably post those later on. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.